So this here, this is the Neewer HB80C. It is almost perfect. Almost perfect. It's small, compact, bright, has its own internal battery. We get full RGB colors and also has a wide color temperature from 2500 to 7500 Kelvin. It has 17 light modes, 18 effects modes, 40 preset gel modes, and has a colored screen on the back to show your settings, which we can control directly on the light itself, or we can connect it to an app to control it through there. And also it has a full Bowens mount on the front, and you can pick it up for just over £200. And I honestly think that this light is fantastic, and it is almost perfect, because there are a few strange things and a few quirks that I think everyone needs to know before buying one of these. So let's start off with the actual light itself. The size is fantastic. It feels like the perfect combination of small and compact, but big enough to be powerful enough and bright enough to still be portable, which is great considering it does have its own internal battery. The plastic it's made from feels very high quality, and the whole build feels nice and rigid and solid in your hand. And that is sort of reflected in the weight of it. It's around 1.2 kilograms, which does seem about right considering it does have that internal battery. It does have a big fan on the back and vents all the way around. And on the underside it has a 1/4-20 thread to easily mount it to a light stand or a tripod. And it actually does come with a small tripod which is fully metal, and it works as a nice handle if we want to use it handheld in battery mode. And one thing that I really like about this mini tripod is the fact that this section here spins. Might not sound that exciting, but it is. And there's also rubber feet on it as well, so it doesn't actually easily slide around, which is great. But if we actually spin that section there, these legs now fully can widen, and it becomes even more solid and secure, and it's never going to topple over. And there's a few sort of different height adjustments. If we don't spin it as much, then the legs don't go as wide. But if you notice that there's something slightly annoying about that mini tripod, it's the fact that we can't change the angle of the light. Things like this very old and battered Manfrotto tripod I've got here actually has a ball joint in the top of it. If the light was attached to this, it's easy to change the angle, where something like this, you can't change or tilt the light. But they also do supply a fully metal light stand attachment, and this has two little teeth on it which kind of goes into the light and grips it so it doesn't spin around. This light stand attachment also has this small hole here which can be used to attach an umbrella. So using this attachment now means that we can easily tweak and change the angle of the light when it's on a light stand. You might have thought that there would have been an easy way to screw the metal tripod into that light stand, but there isn't. These two don't attach together. You can get an attachment like a spigot, I think it is, which will go into the light stand and then the tripod can go into it. These two things, which come included, don't work together. And like I said at the beginning, this light is the perfect size to also have a full Bowens mount on the front. And we also get a full Bowens mount reflector included, which attaches nicely and securely to the front of the light. And I think it's so good they opted to make this light just big enough to have a full Bowens mount. So having this included reflector is great, as it helps to increase the light's brightness and intensity, but obviously does focus the beam slightly, so depending on what lighting look you want, you might want to add a softbox or a lantern to it instead to help soften the light. But as you probably know, this will then slightly decrease the brightness of the light. But having that full Bowens mount means our options are pretty much endless, as we can put whatever attachment onto it we actually want. Also included, we actually get a case as well. Now, this case is fine. It's not super high quality by any means, but it does the job of keeping everything together. But the point of the light is it's meant to be small, compact, and portable. So the size of this is like 4 times smaller than the actual bag itself, which is fine because we kind of have those accessories, but there's no actual cutout specifically for the light. The Bowens mount and the light are all cut out together. So if I don't want to take that reflector with me, this light is just going to be falling around and rattling around inside of that bag. This goes into the reflector. The light has to go into the styrofoam. Both have to slot into place into the bag, and now it's all nice and secure and it's not going to rattle around. When you want to pull the light out, you can't just pull it out. Everything has to come out, including the Bowens mount and that reflector. And then if you don't use this or want to get rid of that, when you want to put the light back in, it won't. And then if it goes into there, so you kind of need to keep this bit of styrofoam. 9 times out of 10, I'm probably never going to use the included reflector. I'm going to be using some form of softbox or lantern. So I'm probably going to be carrying this in a camera bag and then this separate, rather than having to carry the Bowens mount reflector just to be able to put the light in that bag. And the final thing included is this 3-meter long USB-C to USB-C charging cable. So this cable can be used to power the light indefinitely if we just plug it directly in, or we use this cable to charge the internal battery, which is a 5000 milliamp hour battery. Now, how long that internal battery is going to last really depends on what mode, what setting, what brightness, what intensity you're going to be using. Now, online it says it is full brightness at 65 watts. It should last for about 70 minutes. And then at 45 watts, so less of intensity, it should last for about 95 plus minutes. And having a USB-C port on it means that it actually can work as a power bank. So this port is actually bi-directional. We can charge the internal battery, but also we could charge other devices off of that internal battery. Now, you might have noticed when I said the USB-C to C cable was included that I didn't mention an adapter. That's because an adapter is not included. We just get that power cable. So if you're at home, you've probably got these plugs lying around, like for an iPhone or something, and that will give it its power. Now, this is where things get, again, slightly confusing. It's advertised as an 80C, meaning 80 watts of power, but we're limited to 65 watts of power with the internal battery. And if we plug it in, we're still limited to 65 watts of power. To get the full 80 watts of power, we need an adapter that can give or deliver 100 watt power delivery. Then it is something that you will have to buy separate if you want to get the full potential 80 watts out of it. Otherwise, you're limited to 65 watts. But you also might have something like a V-mount battery at home. Now, this is a high-powered output one. This is a 99 watt power delivery V-mount battery. If I plug into this, that I now have the full 80 watts of power out of this light. I just wish that the design of this light also had some form of attachment or a way to click a V-mount battery onto the side of it, which is on a light like the Aputure 60D. I can easily and quickly attach my V-mount battery to it, making it nice and portable, and it's all contained together. Because without that attachment, that now means that my portable light also has a portable battery. This becomes slightly awkward. If they just clicked together, it would have just made so much more sense. Okay, let's now get into the fun bit, the actual workings of the light. And on the side, we can use the switch to turn it on, and it takes a few seconds to actually boot up and turn on. And once on, the light has a CRI of 95 plus and a TLCI of 97 plus, and has a maximum output of over 10,000 lux at 1 meter away. On the back, we have this really nice screen which shows all of our settings. Now, this isn't a touchscreen. To change those settings, we actually have to use the 4 clicky buttons and the click dial wheel underneath. And these are all really nicely marked and do exactly what they say, and when you start using it, it does become very intuitive and easy to navigate around. So if we press the mode button, we can cycle through all the different modes that this light has to offer, and there are quite a few of them, starting off with CCT. If we press this wheel in here, you can see the white section jump around on screen. We've got intensity to change the brightness or the intensity of the light, drop down to CCT, and that's our color temperature. So we can use this wheel and get the exact color temperature we want. So say 55, and then there's a 00K for 5500 Kelvin. And then we can jump over to GM, which is our green magenta shift. Then we can press mode again, go over to HSI, press it in, go over to H, and now this is the hue angle. We've got a full 360-degree hue angle, and we can spin this wheel to go through it. Annoyingly, there's not a way to quickly jump through like 10s or 20s or 50s. We have to use this wheel and scroll all the way through. And then once we're happy, we can press it in, go over to saturation, and we can increase or decrease that saturation to really get the desired look we want. We can then go over to effects modes, and there is a lot of different effects modes on here, all built in, from like lightning to paparazzi to a dodgy bulb to a bomb to welding. There's just loads, police sirens and stuff. There's actually 18 different effects modes, and 18 uses this microphone down here, and it basically flashes to the sound, so ideal for music videos. Then we can press menu again, and this is kind of built-in source modes, light source modes, from cloudy day to moonlight to sunny, indoors, candlelight, moonlight. You know, there's loads of different settings here. And again, we can press this in and change the intensity of the actual light. But annoyingly, we can't go over and change the actual color that the preset already has built into it. We can just change the intensity. Press the mode once more time, and now we are into the gel section. So this is Lee gels, and now we can scroll through and choose what color gel we actually want. It doesn't give the name of the gel, it just gives a number. But I feel like most people are just going to use this to jump through quick and easy colors. Press mode again, and now we are in the Roscoe gels. Press mode again, we are now on X and Y. So if you want, we can go in and choose the X and Y colors if that's something that you want to. It's nice that they've given this as an option. Mode one more time, we go into RGBCW. Pressing this in means that we can go in and change each individual color and get the desired color we want, including that intensity. You can actually hold this menu button down, and it's now going to lock this. So no matter what I do, I'm not going to change the actual light. So that's really good if you're going to be maybe going handheld with it. Hold it down again and it's going to unlock it. Now these top three circles all indicate different things. The one on the left is the fan speed. So if I press this, it kind of increases or decreases the fan speed, which changes the brightness of the light. If we go onto the menu, we can see that we're running at 65 watts here. Press it again, there's less fans on there, which now means that we're running at 45 watts, so slightly lower power, which means that the battery is going to last a bit longer. If I now plug in to this light with that full power battery which I've got, you can see here that it's indicating that it's charging on the middle, but it also means that there is 3 levels on the fan speed, and the light has got brighter. We go into the menu, we are now running at the full 80 watts that this light has to offer. If I unplug it, that is still the battery indicator. So it is quite difficult to actually see the battery level from a far away distance. If there was a percentage, or if that battery indicator was bigger, it would make it a little bit more user friendly. And finally, on the right hand side, this is our dimming curve. We can go into the menu and we can actually change the dimming curve of the light if we actually need to. So yes, I do really like this screen. It's detailed and shows all the settings we want to see. But the problem is the screen is on the back of the light. So when we put it on a light stand and it's above our eye level, we can now no longer see the screen, and we can't change the modes because we don't know what mode we're in or what the screen says. And again, we won't be able to even see the battery level of the light. If the screen was on the side of the light, then we could actually see the mode and the battery level when the light is on a light stand and above our heads. So I suppose to get around the issue of not being able to see the screen is that we can actually connect this to an app. So if it is in an awkward position, then using this makes it a lot easier. So let's now take a quick look at the app, and this works really well and it is really responsive, and you can change all of the settings that you can do on the light, but it's almost quicker and easier to do it into the app. You can just quickly drag around and choose the exact temperature or the brightness you want, change all of your curves, and then all of the different settings are up here. For instance, we can go into gels, and now as you can see on the app, the actual name of the gel is now indicated, and we can press it and it updates instantly. That's the same for the Roscoe and the Lee gels, which are quickly and easily accessible down there. And there's a really cool option here, which is called Picker. So if I bring a color in, so let's say this blue controller, I can then choose the color through the camera of the phone, and the light is now changed to the exact same color as that controller, which is really, really cool. And if the app is connected to the light, you'll now see that there is a fourth symbol on the top here to show that it is now paired and connected. Also, if you had a few of these lights, you could actually group them all together to control them all as one group, or you can go in and change each one individually if you actually need to. But I've only got the one light, so this is something that I've not actually tested, and I don't know how this actually works. So what do you think? Is this almost perfect mini LED portable light worth it? With its very high build quality, super bright output considering its small size and form factor, the ability to get up to 80 watts of power with the right power source, it's intuitive and easy to use, has full RGB colors, all of those lighting effects and gel modes, internal battery, full Bowens mount to easily attach modifiers, the included carry case, mini tripod, all for around £200 to £240, depending on where you actually get it from and if it's on offer. But that is enough from me today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have found it interesting and informative, a like and subscribe would be really appreciated, as it does help out on small channels like mine. And thank you so much to Neewer, who did send me this product for a review. But as you could tell through this whole video, my opinions and my honesty is my own. I'm not told what to say. It's not a paid video or anything like that. They just sent me this product to give my true and unbiased opinion of it. And that is what I feel like I have done. And I really hope that Neewer are listening, and a few of my kind of concerns or maybe a few little frustrations about this product are taken on board and maybe implemented in future generations of light to come. I would love to see them, but honestly, it's a great product and I do really stand behind everything I have said. But that's enough for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you here again soon.